TheAlchemist in pink, playing as the Hindustanis. I believe the Hindustanis were banned in game 1, which is why we didn't see them there. But this is definitely her main civ, so I'm glad to see that come out now. Hadrian playing as the Japanese in blue on the top. Northeast, kind of. Northeast. We'll go with that. We are on Oasis, one of the lesser played maps in the map pool for this tournament. Love to see that as well. As we have a little bit of scouting. We have some llama scouting even from the Alchemist. Okay, okay, gamer. Some exciting stuff. Has she spotted those llamas over there? No, not just yet. Going for the quick ID of where the enemy is, and keeping the llamas back home to provide that information. Finds that wood line. It's going to be able to service the wood production needs until the end of the game. That's one quirk of Oasis. You just have permanent wood line up there. Another thing, you can just wall off, especially this side actually. You can wall off an entire half of the map. At the very least, this giant circle in the middle will slow down any kind of aggression that we might have by a little bit. You gotta walk all the way around the edge. So, players are a little bit further apart from each other than they were in that arena game. And, yeah. Here we are. We're chilling. We're watching Oasis. We're having a good time. Looks like we got some llamas. We got a boar coming in now. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Hadrian keeping that food production consistent. Has the Alchemist seen... okay, she sees one boar here. This one is in a single patch of unexplored... oh no. I'm sure she'll come across it once she looks for it, though. We got a couple of llamas just making their way around the map. A couple of scouts just doing a little scout meetup here. Hadrian really just likes doing those rings around the base. At least to get started, you want to, you want to have a good idea of what you're working with, what your tools are in the game. Here comes that mill for our blue player at the, what is that, the 11th villager into the mill. 7-3, yeah, that makes sense. That's some standard stuff. Here comes the Alchemist. I think she's looking for a boar, or possibly, yeah, okay, that's the mill. It's the mill villager. Here's the boar villager. Maybe. This could be something else. This could be walls, or maybe just a weird gather point, or, rally point. She scouts that wood line, and Hadrian has much less information about the enemy here. I don't know if he's less familiar about the map, but the Alchemist definitely seemed to know what she was getting into here. She picked Oasis as well, as she lost the last game, so... may have a strategy in mind. I think there was a strategy planned for her in that arena game as well, but not quite able to make it happen. Just because of that crazy committed push from Hadrian. Another house here. As it looks like Hadrian, well, might be the first one up the feudal age. There's a few more on food at this point. The Alchemist actually leaning pretty heavily into the wood right now. Usually you see 3 on wood and then rally back to the berries. Or to the boar again. Has she scouted this boar yet? No, it's just in that unfortunate little llama scout patch. Here comes Hadrian's scout. He's finally making his way over. And the Alchemist just keep an eye on one of these sides. Make sure nobody comes around. I think there might actually be a gap here. Make sure nobody sneaks around. We got Loom for our Hindustani player. Hindustani is very strong, Civ. Just in general right now, they have a lot of bonuses. They have a lot of versatility in their tech tree. One of the best monasteries in the game. And they can pretty much do anything. They got camels, they got an answer to whatever you're going to build. It just depends on whether or not the player can utilize that efficiently enough. Hadrian on the Japanese, a little bit more predictable here. Now maybe in like a 3-hour long game, we could see somebody chop through to the middle and start with fishing traps here. Japanese could do well in that, but their fishing ship bonus, their famed fishing ship bonus, not going to really be at play here. Instead, we're really just focusing on the melee infantry attack speed bonus, I think. We're going to probably see another man-at-arms rush, or more of a man-at-arms rush than last time. Maybe into samurai. I guess it probably depends after a certain point what the enemy's making, but definitely could be an option. There's the very picturesque barracks on top of a hill for the alchemist. I wonder if that's like for a future building wall, or maybe just we do have militia coming out. Okay, so it's a bit of a, I mean, I don't know if man-at-arms rush is really the word. I don't know, that could be considered a man-at-arms rush. We're not even feudal age yet. I think that's the intent here. Yeah, drop the barracks right as you click feudal. So we might see some harrying on this wood line. So we have some militia coming out for Hadrian as well. I think they're both gonna go clockwise here, potentially, if they both decide to attack the enemy. Could lead to some interesting early game trading. Both players clearly with very exposed wood lines. Probably the alchemist is more exposed. I don't know. Probably about the same distance here. Slightly chewy, making it back from dinner time. It's only 8:30. He hasn't even had dinner yet. Yeah, we have 3 militia. So this is the same exact starting build that Hadrian used last game, except this time he's not going to go into the cav lines. He's just going to commit to militia, to man-at-arms. Very likely. And the alchemist moving forward with a villager too. A huge fan of that. And only able to get 1 man-at-arms out is probably going to have less of an effect. We do want to see, before they reach the other side at least. Ooh. She did get loom, so I think this is okay. That means the villager's going to be on perilously low health. We'll see what happens here. The 1 militia has me a little worried, but it does mean she'll have more resources back at home probably. And there's the barracks, or the market blacksmith. Probably fast castle unlock there. Now, a really interesting oasis, like I was mentioning, is seriously slowed down this man-at-arms rush from Hadrian. If it was a light cav scout rush, it would be there a bit faster just because they move more quickly and the distance affects it a little bit less. But this has really given the alchemist time to a little bit more time to get things going. A house here as well, and moving on to gold, but not with enough stone, not with enough wood to make a gold mine yet. That's probably why she only has 1 militia here. Only had enough gold to make 1 militia. And get all the researches like loom. Maybe if she held off on loom, would have ended up with 3 militia. Something like that. I think Hadrian probably has optimized the man-at-arms rush a little bit more than the alchemist here, but we'll see how much damage he can do. It's very easy to, I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on you, but it's doable, certainly, to handle 3 man-at-arms and a scout. You might get 1 or 2 villager kills, but at this level, it's not too disastrous. We have a watchtower for the alchemist. I do like this like ace in the hole forward vill, as we are going to have 1 villager down and kind of a blanket garrison of several vills now. Not sure like what, I think it's just the gold miners and all of the food. So Hadrian going to have to watch out for that town center area of fire. He's keeping his distance very effectively here, though. Also, I don't know if anybody realized this. I didn't know this until this week when I watched a Hera game, or a Hera tutorial about how you should ideally set up your graphics settings in Age of Empires 2 these days. But Age 2 Definitive Edition has like a show firing range option like this. I think you just get this in the game. I think he said, Harris said he turns it off because he doesn't feel like it's in the spirit of the game, but I mean, I feel like if I was trying to play competitively, I would just have that on. I'd take any advantage I can get. Maybe that's not in the spirit, but, you know. Now, Hadrian pushing all of those workers off of every resource, and the Alchemist, with the more open map, has a little bit less of an idea of what to do here. These two men-at-arms doing so much damage just in terms of idle eco right now. We can look at worker efficiency last minute, the Alchemist, 1.5% and going down. I think she's just going to Vil fight these two men-at-arms, and that's definitely the right move at this point. Either that or trying to quick wall yourself in so you can't get killed. But I don't think she's even going to lose one worker. Unfortunately, these workers don't auto-attack, so you're going to have to right-click every unit you want to kill with them. And her attention is elsewhere, I think working on this proxy base on the north. So I think Hadrian might get a few more kills. Okay, that was huge value for Hadrian from those three men-at-arms. Like, that just put him ahead by a country mile. But we do have this proxy here with a stable. The Alchemist still has a couple of tricks up her sleeve, as Hadrian does kind of go for some form of building placement here. Maybe one more house here would secure that a little bit more, but he's feeling good right now. We got another militia out for the Alchemist back at home. And by the way, eco count 3623 right now. Idle TC for the Alchemist, I think. Oh, she's idling to get Castle Age, I think, right now. With 23 Vil Castle Age is definitely a feat. Hadrian also now clicking up with unpressured food eco at home. Has plenty to keep producing Vils and go Castle. There's that stable, and the Alchemist just gonna leave that villager on gold for now. Good moves there. See if she can get any. I mean, I don't know. Hindustanis, it could be anything. Probably knights if you're going Castle Age before you do anything with this. Let's down a little bit of wood. Yeah, you got plenty of wood. Makes sense. What's Hadrian's next play? It's probably just going to be full commit to man-at-arms. And I love that he's going around this side every time, because it just means he's never going to find the proxy on this side until there's at least something there to do damage. It's interesting too, because this, I think, is the further distance to go, because it bulges out a little bit more on this side. The Alchemist chopping wood, back gathering resources. Worryingly small number of farms here, actually, at this point, but 2337. She'll probably get the second TC up before Hadrian does, though. That's another thing to consider. If we can go off, yeah, already on stone here as well, and getting a watchtower up on the south. If we can go off the last game at all. Obviously, it's a little bit different, a little bit more open here, more discombobulated perhaps. And Hadrian taking his time with these man-at-arms. Probably going to even get two-handed swordsman before he attacks there. We're going for wheelbarrow right now and moving two Vils up. Thor? Hey, Thor. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hadrian, okay, so he tried to go, that's a second TC foundation, right? Because he already had a market. That's the only other thing that's like that size. So he tried to go TC there, which is kind of an interesting spot actually. And then he found out the tower was there. Now he's dropping a tower of his own. Might be denied for the time being, as his whole army is down here in the random corner trying to do a flanking maneuver. But yeah, this is perfect tile for this tower. I think it's gonna go up. We'll see if, okay, the Alchemist is gonna get some villager kills, and I think Hadrian's gonna have to pull more Vils over here if he wants to get it up. This is actually great from the Alchemist, and we now have camel riders coming in. Camel riders similar to cavalry, except that they do bonus damage to cavalry. It's either they do bonus damage to cavalry or they cause nearby cavalry to do less damage. I think it's just bonus damage to cav. The age 4 experience is confusing me again. They do a little bit less damage overall to their knight counterparts than their knight counterparts, and they can take a little bit more damage. So not quite as much of a solid raiding unit, possibly, but good in a straight up fight and getting a lot of value here actually too. So the raids, that's an interesting spot for a forward base there. Comparable, I think, damage to both players here. Eco KD 7 for the Alchemist, okay, and 2 for Hadrian. He only got 2 villager kills here earlier. Did a lot of idle time, and I think we're seeing less idle time for Hadrian, but it's costing him more vills. So, hey, great stuff from the Alchemist here to counterattack right now. Bonus damage, okay, thank you, Tom Bombadil. And it looks like these camels will be cleaned up with some well-timed spearmen from Hadrian. I mean, you know, you see something riding something else in Age 2, and you say, well, it looks like it's time to build spears, right? We got mangonels for the Alchemist. She's a big fan of the mangonel. And this time it might actually work, because Hadrian only has slow-moving units. He's actually going for a TC on the south side, just next to the wood. I mean, there's not really any other resources nearby to town centers, so I guess why not? Maybe one back at home, up here, perhaps. There's a hill in the way, so it might be a little bit harder to make that happen. But Hadrian did get that castle up. It's going to be hit by the mangonel now. I would like to see this mangonel fire on the spearman. Mangonel's very effective against spears. So the camel mangonel play would be pretty good, I think, if she can micro effectively with both. It's a little bit more challenging than other combos, and also just going to be self-killing those camels there. But what can you do? The tower will go down. And, well, we're kind of reaching a stable point in this game. It's not too many... Well, we'll see. She's going to keep attacking here, actually, with these mangonels. Could do a lot of damage, but we're also not seeing a second TC from the Alchemist this game. I think she's got enough resources to build one, but is just distracted getting a lot of value right now from this side. Man, imagine a mangonel shot right here. Whew. Camel Speed Man-at-Arms here? Yes. This is true. However, the pikemen with attack speed bonus in a straight up fight here are going to just take the win every time. So she did force Hadrian to pivot out of Man-at-Arms, which is definitely a victory for our pink player. But now we need an answer to pikemen. So maybe camel archers would do the trick. Or properly, I don't want to say properly. She's doing fine with these mangonels, but carefully microed mangonels would also do the job. So just keeping Hadrian busy at home, giving herself some time to take care of things back at base as well. But yeah, great choice from the Alchemist with those camels. And we're moving all these villas off stone now. I'm kind of hoping to see a second town center from the Alchemist, but not sure what we're going to get out of this. She has dropped... Okay, it's going to be a castle drop up here. Full commit to the aggro. Castle Age aggression on the north. Hadrian with the siege workshop within view, I think. Is this... No, okay. He doesn't see the castle going up either, and that's crucial because she only has one worker building the castle. I'm going to take these guys, these three guys, about a decade to get up there, and he moves in at just the right time, sees the castle being built. We'll see if the mangonel can handle this. We need to keep this villager alive, and again, from that earlier Gaia attack, it is looking a little bit low. Looks like the mangonel's going to go down. Okay, gets a little bit more value before it goes, and with one camel, this villager dies. The castle is delayed, at least for now. Hadrian has overrun that proxy base. He's not really putting any aggression forward here, just going for spearmen at home, pikemen. Here come the other three workers. Hadrian, intent on getting his tower down, doesn't see the castle, doesn't see the workers continuing to build the castle. He's gonna get a ram on that though, and he's gonna see it now. And I think at this point, with this many pikemen, the camel choice was great to begin, but you're gonna have to pivot out of that once you see, 10 pikemen coming out with more on the way. Hadrian had to pull a few workers off farms. He lost a few, but he's kind of stabilizing now, ramming this castle down. The villagers are not going to be able to continue building that. The villager is continuing to build that. And I don't know if he notices. Okay. Very sneaky move there. And, okay, last vill goes down. I think the alchemist is going to have to go back to the drawing board. Maybe set up some kind of production over here. She's not going to expect this, though. This entire second base from blue is definitely something special. Okay, I think she hasn't canceled that. Okay. Sadly, the castle was not canceled by pink, so she lost all of the stone invested in building it. And is left with 81 stone. Now she's moving 6 workers north. I'm not sure why. Guess we'll have to wait and see. The alchemist on 900 wood. I mean, resources here are looking pretty good for both players. Okay, that's kind of a spoiler if we look at that too often. Anyways, I like this tower, providing vision down here. 32 to 49 workers. I think the second TC is really showing its strength, as well as idle TC time. The alchemist on 1 town center only, but with 16 minutes of idle TC time there. Not really what you want to see, but we're going to have a wall. We're going to have some delaying tactics. Totally viable on Oasis. And some more villagers walking forward here. She's going to need more stone, though. And Hadrian is now kind of posturing like he's going to attack on the south side, which will be totally unexpected, I think, at this point. We'll see if she can get this wall up in time. We do have 4 rams now for Hadrian. He may have built too many rams, but it will serve him well now, as this wall just ends up being a speed bump, I think. But we got walls. We got watchtowers. And Hadrian on 21 military pop. It's going to be all pikemen, 4 rams. He's got his own defensive castle here. Seems like maybe he's respecting the alchemist a little bit now. He's like, you can attack me, you can get into my eco. I better just defend for a little bit. And, okay. Deleted the wall in order to get the villagers back through. It doesn't have enough stone to build more walls, so it has to go for a house there. Okay, and yeah, maybe this is just more of a defensive situation. I'm surprised the alchemist hasn't floated any units out this way to see if anything is going on. But there's been so much happening in this screen right here, like this screen. This is like kind of default view distance, I think, for when you're in game. I don't know. Here's archery range, siege workshop. Now, if we get any alchemist mangonels over walls or choke points, that's where the value can really start coming in for a pink player, because she's great at that. I'm a big fan of whenever that can happen. Hadrian gonna be getting those rams up, and the alchemist moving back with 101 stone. I'd like to see her repairing these walls so that she can get a little bit more of an army out before anything too bad happens here. But I think they're just gonna go down. She's gonna try to speed build this TC. And this is actually kind of a nice strategy, because only one guy can actually reach in there and hit the house, so it's not even going to take any longer to... It's not going to... Okay. It's not going to go down any more quickly than a wall might. We have a southern wall here. Northern wall's already down. Here comes some value shots with the mango. Hadrian sees it pretty quick. Pulls back. I'd love to see some shots on these. Okay. Hey, I'm not one to micromanage the alchemist mangonel plays. She knows what she's doing most of the time here. Choke point is now through, though. Mango gonna go down. We probably will get this tower up, but it might cost a few vills. Hadrian now going for that TC in his spot that he was trying to build his second TC in originally. And 33 to 69 workers. Nice. Makes me think Hadrian's got this game in the bag. This town center also never went up. And the number of rams here will prevent any kind of castle age defensive structures from really being completed. being too much of a problem. I like these plays from Hadrian. I would have liked maybe some pressure from the south here as well. Would have closed the game off a little bit more quickly. But he's doing a great job controlling this attack on the north. So FTC is just going to sit there at 85%. And the Alchemist at least is continuing to try to put up a front. Alligators getting in on the action. Hissing, apparently that's the noise that they make. Okay, sure. She's at least gonna have vision of when Hadrian decides to move in. I think Oasis is serving her well here. It's delaying every attack that comes her way. But will it be long enough? I don't think so, with 28 to 71 workers now. Siege Workshop. We might even get more mangonels. I mean, that definitely is starting to feel like the only way back into the game for her. Some clutch mangonel shots, but at the minute all that's happening is the units just run in and stand on top of the mangonel and kill them because there's no front line and no choke point. So we'll see what happens there, but I paid off the hissing alligators. Yeah, they're doing their job well. Sending a couple of villagers or a couple of units forward to test the waters. I think maybe this is just the entire army she has to offer at the minute. As we now have 6 rams on the field for Hadrian. I believe the threshold for the fabled special feature is 7. So, oh, is he 7 out? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a bona fide ram ranch on our hands. 7 rams, 6 on the front line. And this is looking like an unstoppable ram ranch too. This is a successful ram ranch. Not pointing any fingers. Potentially some unsuccessful ram ranchers. But all right. Okay, we're just working on these buildings. We're moving up in a ball. Hadrian keeping it cool, keeping it collected this time around. Both times around, actually. He's been very effective at maintaining a solid clump of units, doing a good job with the persistent siege, not losing at all or anything like that. Couple of the long swordsman about to be back in fashion as Hadrian reaches the Imperial Age, and we're gonna get a few more pikemen out just for good measure. Good plays from our Japanese player here. Good attempts from the Alchemist. I love this proxy base. It was just, I think that the unit switch ups, the reactivity even, wasn't quite there. Once the instant spearmen started coming out from the Japanese player, just leaning harder into the camels was not the move. But there was some good damage from both players on this in this game. Some well planned moves, some maneuvers. Some good mango shots as well, but not quite enough. And we've got a beautiful castle. I think I already said something about this hill being quite nice looking, so I'm just gonna put a halt to that right now. And the Alchemist running for her life with some villagers around this uncompleted wall. Gonna try to hold out all hope. But yeah, I think Hadrian's siege tactics, I'm a fan. Silly Seth in the last game, not to call anybody out, but a little bit less organized. Maybe that was just the effect of just having played a 2-hour game right before that, but this is definitely more careful, more methodical. That's the word I've been looking for the last 10 minutes, methodical. Second town center for the Alchemist now that she only has 1 again. And 5 workers chopping those trees. Where's the 5th worker? There's only 4 there. Worker number 5? Where are you hiding? It is. Wait a minute. So you what? 1 mil. Oh, you're down here. What are you doing down here? Killing alligators? And skirms now? Okay. I mean, enough skirms in this situation would do the trick, but I don't think 6 villagers is going to get you the wood that you need. Oh, man. Well, at least the attempt is there. The full wall did come through, by the way. And Hadrian just choosing to have mercy and not attack from the eastern side. He's got these crossbows over here, these arbalesters, but, you know, he's taking his time. Yeah, ramp pathing's still struggling in this game. I think you can only attack a wall with, it looks like 2 rams each, maybe? But yeah, you know, it's not a step down in Age 4. Not really. It's just a lateral step to the side. As we have... Is it champions? What are those? Two-handed swordsmen? Yeah. Fully upgraded. Castle Age two-handed swordsman here. I'm getting plate mail armor now. And they're in the eco. The Alchemist calls the game there. Which means, if I pop this up again real quick. Game 9, Hadrian versus the Alchemist. Hadrian takes it, moves on to the King of the Losers Grand Final versus Bees Get Degrees. Whoever wins that match will take the King of the Losers prize of $30. Whoever loses will take the second place prize of $20. The Alchemist goes on to the third place match versus Squeaky G to determine who wins that $10 third place King of the Losers prize. GG though.